Hello everybody and welcome to another Nephilim Builds. Today we're going to break the sky as Lune from Clair Obscur Expedition 33. As always, keep in mind that these videos are about capturing the spirit of the character rather than capturing their abilities perfectly. With that said, let's start with ability scores. Using the standpoint rope with a 15 to intelligence. She's by far the most inquisitive member of the group and probably the only one smarter than Gustav. Next is the 14 in Constitution, with 14 being the number of weapons she has that scale with Vitality. In case you're wondering, second highest is a tie between Defense and Agility at 11, which is why we'll put the 13 to Dexterity. But with the 12 in Charisma, she's a talented guitarist, and then the 10 to Wisdom. Lastly, with Strength, none of her weapons scale with Might. Actually, none of the weapons in the game scale with Might. Kinda feels like an oversight. For species, we're going to go with Human. We'll get Resourceful, pick Survival, and take the Tough feats. We'll make a custom background putting our increases into Dexterity and Constitution. We'll also take Performance and Investigation, Proficiency with the Loot, and the Magic Initiate Cleric feats. We'll take Guidance and Resistance to fill the slots, and then take Healing Word for Healing Light. Pick your wounds if you want, but I wanted the range. Moving out of class, we're going to go with Wizard. We'll get Wisdom and Intelligence saving throws, pick Arcana and History, and be proficient with simple weapons. At level 1, we'll get Ritual Adept, Arcane Recovery, and 3 cantrips. We'll take Light for Light, Firebolt for Immolation, and Ray of Frost for Ice Lance. We'll also get 4 spells taking Mage Armor for AC, Shield to Parry, Witch Bolt for Electrify, and Earth Tremor for Earth Rising. At level 2, we'll get Scholar, Expertise in Arcana, and take Featherfall because what is fall damage. At level 3, we'll get our Arcane Tradition, taking the Evoker for Potent Cantrip and Evocation Savant. By the way, the new Savant features just add spells to your spellbook, not your prepared spells, so I won't bother picking them. We'll also take Rhymes Binding Ice for more ice. At level 4, we'll raise our Intelligence and take Shocking Grasp for a melee attack. We'll also take Scorching Ray for more fire. At level 5, we'll get Memorize Spell and take Fireball for Hell and Erupting Earth for Tremor. At level 6, we'll get Sculpt Spells and take Lightning Bolt for more lightning. At level 7, we'll take Thunder Wave for the Overworld attack. At level 8, we'll raise our Intelligence again and take Wall of Fire for more fire. At level 9, we'll take Immolation for, say it with me, more fire, and Cone of Cold for crippling tsunami. Yes, there's Tidal Wave, but this does cold damage. At level 10, we'll get Empowered Evocation and take Elementalism to fill a slot. We'll also take Burning Hands for Wildfire. A little late since we already have Hell, but who cares. At level 11, we'll take Investiture of Ice for Typhoon. No healing though, which sucks. This is actually my favorite Lune skill. I made a heal DPS build around it called Ice Pack. Just keep the target burning, usually with help from Mayel, and use Thermal Transfer to get the AP for Typhoon. Just add Effective Heal, Energetic Healer, Energizing Heal, Healing Share, Shared Care, Healing Boon, and whatever combination of Apply Buff on Heal and Give a second buff Pictos you want. Fun fact, Thermal Transfer used to trigger its second turn effect as long as the target was burning, even if you didn't have the Earth Stains for it. And if Typhoon was already in effect, it would trigger on both turns. But then they patched it. Still a good combo though. At level 12, we'll raise our Constitution, and at level 13, we'll take Prismatic Spray for Elemental Genesis. Still haven't had a chance to cast this in a game, by the way. Someday. At level 14, we'll get Overchannel for some crit Pictos and take Jump to Jump Good. Just wanted to get that one out of the way. At level 15, we'll take Sunburst for Skybreak. I've never actually used this, but if the damage is determined by whatever stain you have the most of, then light damage should be on the table, right? At level 16, we'll cap our Constitution and take Ice Knife and Ice Storm for more ice. At level 17, we'll take Protection from Energy for Resistance Pictos. Sorry, no 9th level spells for us, but this is the last filler spell, the rest are nukes. At level 18, we'll get Spell Mastery, picking Mage Armor and Scorching Ray. Can't pick Shield anymore, it now has to be a spell with a casting time of an action. Crazy thing is, I'm pretty sure I've done a level 20 wizard since the new rules came out, but I can't remember if I caught that detail. We will take Chain Lightning for Thunderfall though. At level 19, we'll take the Boon of Spell Recall, capping Intelligence, and take Adaluk's Freezing Sphere for more ice. Lastly, at level 20, we'll get Signature Spells, picking Fireball and Erupting Earth. We'll also take Incendiary Cloud for Fire Rage. It's damage over time, and if you take damage, it stops. Now that we're level 20, we finally have our modifiers. Our AC with Mage Armor is 15, our Move Speed is 30, and our average HP is 222 with 20d6 hit dice. I considered raising Dexterity for better AC, but I couldn't pass up on the triple 2s. And with that, we are done. Now what can this build do? To start, oh boy do we have a lot of nukes. Doesn't matter what you fight, you've got a damage type that can hurt it. Unless you're fighting Tiamat. You've also got a ridiculous amount of HP for a wizard, more than some melee builds. And since we're an evoker, our cantrips always deal damage, our AoEs ignore friendlies, and we can max out any spell of 5th or lower. We even have a healing spell. For weaknesses, weak strength saves, no 9th level spell. Honestly, the only real flaw is that we couldn't fully capture Lune's healing capabilities. So let's talk about how we could have. First option is Divine Soul Sorcerer. We'd get all the healing potential of a cleric with all the elemental firepower that we need. I just can't justify putting charisma over intelligence. For that same reason, Bard and Celestial Warlock are off the table with the added downgrade of less elemental variety. Second option is Land Druid. You could argue that she's more street smart than book smart, which I personally disagree with, but the option's there. You'd have plenty of healing and elemental options, though you'd also have a lot of extra spells. Plus the vibe just doesn't feel right. Ultimately, while Lune does have 4 different heal skills, 5 if you count Typhoon, she's not the healer. She can be, but so can Ciel and to an extent Minoko. Verso and Gustav have self-heals, and even Mael has an oh shit button with Phoenix Flame. There's also plenty of Pictos that give you healing for different things. Honestly, this is one of the rare RPGs where a dedicated healer is not necessary. So while it's not my playstyle, full DPS Lune is a valid option. Playstyles aside, we're reducing our enemies to stains. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you'd like to support my channel, there's a link to my Patreon down in the description. $1 a month gets you 2-day early access to my content, while $3 a month gets you access to exclusive content, such as the Astral Breath Sorcerer's Origin, a space-themed subclass for Sorcerer. These benefits also apply to my gaming channel, Luna Rainfell Gaming. Let me know your thoughts this video down in the comments, and I'll see you all next time when I make Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII.